we are going to graph y equals y equals 3 negative 1/2 x cubed. Most or almost all of the textbook examples we've done so far have given us a graph, and then we have to do a new graph. But the reason that we learned those 4 parent graphs to begin with is because sometimes we're just going to be asked to graph something. And we have to make the connection, which of those 4 parent graphs is that related to? What are key points on that parent graph? And what do these numbers do? So first of all, you would recognize what kind of graph is this? Is this an absolute value graph, a square root graph, an x cubed graph, or what was the other one? A 1 over x graph. It's an x cubed graph, okay? So the first thing you're going to say to yourself is, I know what my x cubed graph looks like because I have it memorized, or I can make a table of values and graph it quickly. I know key points are 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 8, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 8. So I quickly have my original graph in my head. I then look at my new equation and I say, what does that 3 do? X or y coordinate? Y coordinate, because it's outside of the function. And so that'll be a vertical stretch. And you're going to multiply y by 3. Then inside the function, we have a negative and a half. That negative that negative is going to be a horizontal reflection, and that half is going to be a horizontal stretch. We can put both of those things together and say we're going to have to multiply our x values by negative 2. Now that we've deciphered what's happening, we can take our parent graph, our original graph, 3 points from that graph, and figure out where those points are going to end up. Now, in this case, one point you will always choose from an x cubed graph is you will always choose 0, 0. Of all the points, that's the most important because that's sort of in the middle where things change. The other points, sometimes depending on what you're going to do, you may choose one or the other. In this example, it really doesn't matter, so I'm going to go with 1, 1, and negative 1, negative 1. I draw my arrows to show this that it's going to get changed, and above here, I'm going to write out the fact that y is getting multiplied by 3, and x is going to get multiplied by negative 2. I'm going to do all my x coordinates first, and then multiply all my y coordinates by 3. And I get 3 new points. I can now go and graph my new graph. Personally, I like having my parent graph off to the side and graphing my new graph on a new graph paper just so that it doesn't get too busy, that there's not too much happening. So I still have the point 0, 0. I now have the point 2, -3. And I have the point -2, 3. And we've now graphed, this is the graph of y equals 3 -1/2 x all cubed. And the same process could happen with any square root graph, or absolute value graph, or reciprocal graph.